Friends, I have this knitting project that I want to have done this week. And I have an entire day today. So logically, I should be knitting on this, right? I don't wanna. Literally, my knitting needles are dropping from how much I don't wanna. I want to spin today. So I am going to be rebellious and spin today. 2 weeks ago, it was Dag van de Wol, and I got these two braids from Speckles in the Forest hand-dyed yarn. I want to do a combo spin. This is going to be like a video without a story or anything. I just want to spin these two braids. That's just everything. But before we can actually spin, let's take a look at our misbehaving spinning wheel. You all gave me the tip to maybe screw this screw a little bit tighter, so that's what we are going to do. Let me just get a screwdriver. Hopefully this should have just done it. Let's see if Madame Christine wants to behave after tightening the screw, because that would be amazing if that was just the fix, tightening one screw. This fiber kind of feels felted from dyeing, or compacted. Not really felted, but compacted. Let's floof it open a little bit. Anyway, we've been spinning for a full minute on Christine right now, and no misbehaving. Nice. Now, why did I pick these two braids together? I said I had no plan, I just wanted to spin, but of course there has been some prior thinking before the spinning. And the prior thinking was they fit together according to the laws of color theory. They might be a different tint, but they are the same tone. Wait, I have been thinking in Dutch. I'm sorry for all you English speakers. They aren't the same hue, but they are the same tint and on some places the same shade. What? Did you not know that color theory is dependent on which language you speak? Oh, my dear friends. It is. I can of course only speak for some of the Germanic languages, but I know that in Dutch and German we have the same concepts for color theory, and that those are different from the ones in English. So in English, if I explain this correctly, the hue is like the value of the color. It is green or purple. And then the tint is how light it is, how much white you add to it, and the shade is how much darkness or black you add to it. In Dutch and German, it actually works as the value of the color is the tint, and how light or how dark it is the tone. It's a lot less confusing in Dutch because we only have two words. It's a tint or a tone. You can like pair colors together according to their tint. They can be in the same value. They can all be green but have a different tone, like light green, dark green. Or they could all be the same tone. Like this braid, they are the same lightness, darkness, but they have different tints, different hues. Today you learned. Or maybe you didn't. Combo spinning, by the way, for those of you who are not well versed in the spinner's lingo, is actually just the act of spinning two things together. So two braids, two bats, two row legs, what have you, together. Two different ones, that is, so that you make a combination of both. It's evening now and I'm almost through my first braid. And I've also been a good YouTuber and worked on my project that I want to have done in a week. But I quite liked having this as some kind of procrastination, distraction project. You know, also because it is colorful. I like colors. I am a pretty colorful person when it comes to aesthetics. Like, I will wear a yellow winter coat all winter with crazy colored scarves and hats. And the project that I'm making, and you will all have seen the video, for my friend, she wears black and white only. That's her entire aesthetic. Her house is decorated black and white. I could never. I need so much color in my life. So yeah, I'm glad that I could look at some color every now and then instead of focusing on the black the entire day. And also just, you know, the dopamine hit of starting a new project. You understand what I mean, right? Starting a new project, even though I have 5 projects haunting me. There is just something enticing about that. You do get what I mean, right? Or are you one of those monogamous crafters? Monogamous crafting, is that a thing that actually happens, or is it a myth? Let me know if you are a completely monogamous crafter. I'm curious. I've been making quite a bit of progress on this knitting project, but my thumb is like a little bit painful right now from doing a repetitive motion for a couple of hours. So I'm going to do another repetitive motion for a couple of hours, but that hopefully pinches in a different way, acts with other muscles. Yesterday I managed to finish the first braid. The plying will evidently become a game of bobbin chicken that I will lose because the single is 1 bobbin full. I'm spinning this project with a short forward drafting, not because that was actually my plan in the beginning. I actually wanted to do a continuous bag, but the fiber actually, and I don't want to throw any shade to the dyer at all because the colors are super beautiful, but the fiber got a little bit compacted or felting in some spots, so I just experienced that doing it in a short forward draft is much more comfortable to navigate those compacted or slightly felted spots. It also just feels nice to do something that you can do practically on muscle memory and don't really need to think about it. I have been doing a short forward draft for so many years and only recently, like this last year, have really discovered long draw, I guess. I'm now getting quite a bit along on my second ever Corriedale braid. What do I think of this fiber? I think it's a fine fiber, but rather unremarkable. If you get what I mean, in the sense that, you know, maybe what I am missing right now is lanolin. I don't feel like this Corriedale is as dead inside or outside as some of the commercial merino that I have spun before. It has a little bit more of feeling like it is actually wool. It's a fine fiber. I feel like if you were a beginning spinner, this would be a great place to start, but also it's just that, a great place to start. Nothing special about it. And I do realize that maybe having spun mostly hand-processed fleeces might have spoiled me a little bit, and now like these commercial hand dyes, acid-dyed braids aren't doing much for me. Could that be a thing? Nah, I don't know. The Polworth did a thing to me. That was super soft. That was really special, the Polworth. But this Corriedale, it's fine. That's it. It's fine. I'm really sorry if this is your favorite breed spin, but it's fine. If you want to start out spinning, it's very fine. Those were my 2 cents, and they're worth absolutely nothing.
Good news, everyone! We finally are at the point in this video where we can test whether or not I was correct that these 2 braids will be a good match for some combo spinning. Let's combine them. Fancy a sip? It's good, right? It's actually just if you could see, it's some fresh mint leaves, a whoop of cinnamon and some sugar in hot water in a very fancy dinosaur mug. Gotta keep hydrated while spinning, right? And then, why not do it in a cozy way? When it comes to bobbin chicken, there's actually 3 versions that people like to play. The first one being I most often mention, and that is maybe not having enough bobbin to get all your yarn on. We're getting into that territory, but not just yet. There is still quite some space on there. The second one is when your bobbin thread on your sewing machine runs out earlier than your sewing thread on top. This is not applicable to our situation. However, it is a little bit more akin to the bobbin chicken we are playing or have lost at right now. You also kind of want to finish your singles at the same time, and I didn't. That being attributed to the fact that the braids weren't the same would be weird. That would be weird. I mean, it has probably not what happened. What might have happened is that I did not spin my singles at equal thicknesses. Not something I have noticed while plying, because by eye they look the same, but they could have a completely different grist, as evidenced by however many yarn is still on this one. Common solution to this is a plying bracelet. We're just going to do that. I want all the yarn into one hacking chongus of a skein. Oh man, the squish factor on this, it's good. Here is our big boy chungus of 200 grams and 427 meters. That's actually quite the amount for a short time of spinning. I did this like in a week, I guess. Yeah, a week. Give or take a week is what cost me to spin the 2 braids and then ply them together. Which, as we see from the beautiful colors, whatever there is in here, was a good decision. My pre-planned thinking that, oh, these 2 braids would make a good combo spin. I had worse ideas. I feel like both the warm and colder tones of both braids get their time to shine in this skein. I love it so much. I love all the colors, all the color combinations in there. They're just right. And I've got so many ideas already. During spinning, I said I thought that Corriedale was quite unremarkable as a fiber, but as a yarn, I think if I were to enter a local yarn store, grab a skein like this, I would buy it, because this feels like a yarn I would love to knit with. It might be unremarkable to spin. It's not as crunchy or not as toothy or gave me as much as feedback as maybe Blue Tassel or Speckles might, but as a yarn, I think it's great. Yeah, I would knit with this happily. And that's what I'll do, but probably in a future video, way in the future, because I still have so many knitting projects going on. The life of a crafter, right? But they say it's good for you to have so many whips. Anyway, I had so much fun spinning this without actually having an end goal or some story in mind to make this video. I hope that you had as well. I hope you had fun with watching this actually pointless video, because I didn't start this video with a point in mind, right? So it's pointless in a way, but it's just here for shenanigans and entertainment, and I hope you had fun. And if you had, and if you like these kind of fiber shenanigans, then maybe you could like, comment or subscribe. But of course, that is all up to you. That was the most Dutch sounding that ever. But anyway, and as for me, I will see you in the next video. But before we do that, maybe you could look at some more spinning shenanigans. Bye!